Welcome to Murderers I Have Known. I think this is season 3. This is the story of Danny and Jeff. I was the minister of music at a church here in North Huntsville, and Danny and Jeff had grown up in the church. They lived next door to each other, well, actually back to front. They shared a back fence, so Danny and Jeff grew up jumping that fence to visit each other, to spend the night, to play ball, to do whatever. They were the best friends, like brothers. And as life went on, they grew up, got jobs, had families, but they remained friends. Sometimes they were close, sometimes they were distant, but they were always friends. Danny had a little problem with alcohol, but he beat it. Jeff had a little problem with alcohol and drugs, which he was never really able to beat. He was a constant drag on him. Sometimes he would be on top of the fight, and sometimes the drugs and the alcohol would get him. Well, during the period that I was minister there, Jeff got back into church. He was working hard to beat his problems. Danny, in the course of beating his problems, decided to move to some of his family property down in lower Alabama. Well, Jeff was just having a hard time, really, really hard time. So Danny invited Jeff to come down to the property, stay with him for a while, get his head together, and be away from all the bad influences that were tempting him to continue his life of drugs and alcohol. And, people who've been involved with people trying to beat those habits will tell you that it's really, really common that if you don't get away from the people that you were doing the drugs with to start, you'll never get away from it because it's always around. So everybody felt like it was a really good thing for Jeff to go down, live with Danny for a little while. Great friends, lots of room, lots of quiet, not a lot of bad influences. This looks good. So our pastor put him on a bus. Down he went. Danny picked him up, took him out to the area. It was heavily forested, as lots of southern Alabama is. Really quiet. Not really sure what happened exactly, but apparently Danny had some money, and Jeff decided that he needed the money. He needed to go get a little bit of drugs to calm things down. Danny objected, and Jeff beat his best friend from childhood to death with a baseball bat. There's no doubt who did it. Jeff confessed to it after fleeing to Florida to begin. But he was caught in Florida and extradited. I didn't follow the case. It was very, very sad.